It's time to mind your business with me, Jamillah Lodge. Tune in to find out how to mind your business with BEDC, special guest entrepreneurs, industry experts, and more. Brought to you by BEDC. Bermuda Business starts here. Good day. Welcome to Mind Your Business. I'm your host, Jamillah Lodge. And today I'm so pleased to have with me, we have Nkenge Warren-Swan, who's the president, and Corville Hylton, who's VP membership of Bermuda Toastmasters Club. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about your experience with Toastmasters and then really how the mission of Toastmasters aligns with supporting entrepreneurs in Bermuda and why if they were interested in joining, it would be a good thing for them to be participating. But we'll start with you, just giving us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Nkenge.
My name is Nkenge Warren-Swan. I am a retired educator of many years. I joined Toastmasters because I still lacked a bit of confidence when it came to working with parents during those teacher conferences and how you had to, in a nurturing way, comment on the performance of their young ones. I was put into the role of team leader, so that escalated that a little bit more because now I'm talking to a wider school audience in terms of parents. I heard an ad for a new club that was beginning, because there are two clubs now, two community clubs that was beginning. And I thought, let me go back and revisit, as I had visited it in graduate school. But after leaving that environment, life happens, I didn't stay with it. Hearing that, it encouraged me to go back. I then decided, step outside of that zone that you are hanging on to, fear, go for it. Go and see what will happen now in terms of this leadership role, where you have to step up anyway, find some guidance, find some ideas and tips. That's what brought me back in 2015, since which I have had experiences that I never imagined that I would be a part of.
Okay.
That's what Toastmasters has done for me. It has really allowed me to be open to the possibilities, learn from those things that didn't go so well, and continue to enhance what it is that I do have.
Okay. Well, Corville, if you can just introduce yourself and tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for having us here. Thanks for the opportunity.
Of course.
My name is Corville Hylton, and I have been a Toastmaster for over 12 years.
Wow.
I've enjoyed every bit of it. Actually, I was introduced to it by a friend who invited me to come and drink. Well, I thought it was to drink.
It was a sales pitch, but he didn't know.
Yes, and he said, let's go to Toastmasters. And all I know about toast is when you drink. So I thought that's what we're going to do. But when I went to the meeting, I realized it was about public speaking. And I thoroughly enjoyed the meeting. Of course, I was extremely nervous because public speaking is something that a lot of people fear. But I realized that Bermuda Toastmasters Club, or any Toastmasters Club, because as you'll hear shortly, we are international.
Right.
And any club that you join, anywhere you go, you can find a club. It helps with that. And I have moved through the ranks from all the offices in Toastmasters. I've served as the president here about 3 times. And then we have moved because Bermuda has now come out of just Bermuda being a world by ourselves. As you heard, Bermuda is another
world, right? That's what
we have moved past that now, and we have gone into what we call the district. So we are joined with about 39 other countries in the Caribbean, and we have excelled in that. And in that, I have participated as well at different levels. Distinguished Toastmaster Nkenge has as well. And both of us are, as you hear, distinguished Toastmasters. So we're at the highest level of public speaking.
Okay.
Yes.
So their level. So for those who don't know, can you just share with us a little bit about what Toastmasters is, what the mission is, and what it is, what kind of service you provide for those who participate? And Nkenge, I'll let you start.
Okay. Toastmasters in itself is an organization that serves 270,000 members in 14,200 serves approximately 270,000 members in more than 14,200 clubs in 148 countries.
Gotcha.
And what's the beauty of it is the mission remains the same, that we provide a nurturing and supportive environment which allows you to develop your public communication and leadership skills so that you are enhanced in your personal growth. It is also a personal program. It is self-paced. Nobody raises you. This is what I want to do.
Okay.
You let us know what goal you want to achieve. Some people come in for various reasons, not necessarily to stay a long time, but they come knowing that they can get what it is that they're looking for. I recall one gentleman came in because he wanted to prepare a toast for his daughter's wedding.
Okay.
And we don't turn you away. We help you because you know what? We feel once you come in and see what we're doing, you may just want to stay a little longer. But we want to know that we are supporting anybody that comes into that organization to accomplish and become what it is they would like to do.
So it's really, it doesn't matter what you do or where you are within your career. It's really around helping you build up the confidence to be able to speak to the public or to people at large.
In general, take for instance, you are asked a question right on the spot. We help you with that.
Yeah.
We throw these topics at you and you deliver in 1 to 2 minutes. That is what some people are looking for as well.
Yeah.
How do I respond when the question just comes out of nowhere? We teach you some techniques. Pause. Repeat the question.
Okay. So it's actual practical tips that you can use to help kind of get over that fear, because I know in this role, right, when I'm interviewing people, it's amazing to me how people are nervous and they're like, you know, wait, I don't know. And I'm like, it's just me. You're just talking to me. It's just going to be, you know, a nice conversation. But I think sometimes people get in their heads and then you're thinking about how you're presenting yourself. You want to make sure that you look a certain way. And I'm imagining that Toastmasters assist with all of that.
Body language.
Yes.
How you use your hands.
Yes.
Your eye contact.
Yeah.
They often say, find someone and imagine them naked. But the thing is, just find something that you
can focus on.
And then that helps you maintain the composure. It doesn't give you the opportunity to think about my hands shaking on my knees or
so when you think about entrepreneurs, right? Have either of you had your a chance to maybe go down an entrepreneurial path or start your own business at some point?
I have.
Okay. So from that standpoint, from that with that cap on, how do you think Toastmasters can assist entrepreneurs with whatever it is they're trying to achieve? Why do you think it would be important for them to consider Toastmasters?
The pitch. How do you get them interested?
Yes.
And you mentioned it a little earlier. Toastmasters meet you exactly where you are, and it builds you from there. And I do remember there was actually a member that we had who wanted to start her own business, and she actually came to us. I believe that was a reason for her to join. And she did the pitch with us. She went through everything, and we gave her tips on everything. And then she went to the actual function, and she was successful in being selected.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so we're not even strange to this that is happening here.
Yeah.
So we do, because it meets you where you are, and it's not a one-size-fits-all. Whatever you do. So if you are coming there just to work on your time management or to work on your leadership or communication, because when you hear the Toastmasters Club, you think about speaking, but it's a whole package that we offer. And it really works for you. It doesn't matter if you're a lawyer, a doctor, a teacher, a police officer, because we have just about everybody. And even the networking there, which we probably will speak to later, is excellent because we have something for each person.
So in terms of the packages that you're referencing, right? So I'm an entrepreneur. I want to come and practice my pitch because I'm trying to get this money so I can do, expand my business. What does that look like? Do you enroll in a series of weeks? Is there a course outline that you must look at or be a part of? How does that look?
Well, it depends. If you just, as Distinguished Toastmaster Nkenge said, if you are just coming there for that purpose, then that's it. We would help to work on it. Because we have had many people who come to us. I remember there was one gentleman who was starting a business that he wanted to sell to the cabinet here.
Okay.
And he actually came to us, and we coached him and assisted him, and he went because he was nervous about going before the premier and all the ministers. And we assisted him, prepared him. He went there and he was successful. So if you are coming for assistance in that vein, then you don't necessarily have to join if you just want us to work with you. But it would be more beneficial to join because it offers so much more. As I said, it's a broad perspective. We just don't come from one angle. We deal with a total development
of the person, of the individual. Yeah. So Nkenge, talk a little bit about what joining means. What does that mean when you say join?
When you make that commitment to join, you are joining a global network, which means your experience can travel the world. And particularly since pandemic, post-pandemic, Zoom, Teams, Google Meets blew this world wide open, and then poured it back together like that.
Right.
You're able to network with Toastmasters anywhere in the world. I've been to Dubai, I've been to Singapore, I've been to Japan, I've been to Poland. That would have, financially, that would not have been possible.
Right.
I wouldn't have been able to get on a plane, time or money to travel around the world like that and be a part of those clubs on a nightly basis. That would not have happened.
Right.
That's what it has opened in terms of experience that you can gain from networking, which is also in the projects. We have electives in various paths that allow you to look at networking, even learning how to do a podcast.
Yes.
It's there. All of that information is there. All of those experiences are there. So when you join our membership, you're open to looking at all of them and making a decision.
What do you want to do?
My goal. What is the benefit that I can get for me? This is what you have to offer. This is what I want. That's what I'm coming for.
So let's talk a little bit about the leadership component, right? Because as entrepreneurs, they're the leaders of their organizations. Many of the stakeholders that we support are solo entrepreneurs, so they don't have to worry about anybody yet. But when you're thinking about growing and scaling your business, that's a part of it, right? You're going to have a team to support. And so how can Toastmaster assist with developing those leadership qualities, right? So I get the public speaking, but what specifically do you do or do you offer that can assist with that?
Yes, thank you. We actually have a part that is leading in your organization. So that you just work and lead it. One of the things you probably have experienced it, and maybe people watching have experienced, you have gone to a meeting and you realize the meeting was not properly run. It wasn't even necessary. Sometimes it's something an email can do, and sometimes you fall asleep in the meeting. Sometimes
you're like, I'm serious. Like, you literally could have asked me this in like 2 sentences, and we could have been, on and to the next, right?
Yes, so people are in there using their phones because what's happening is not interesting them. But when you become a Toastmaster, that's something you literally work on, where you learn to conduct meetings. And one of the things is sometimes I believe you have been to meetings and you hear them say, I'm sorry, let's give the others a few more minutes to get here. That is very disrespectful, and that's not something we promote in Toastmasters at all. We believe in time. You respect people's time. Because in essence, what you do as a leader, if you allow people to, the ones who are late, you reward them by waiting until they get there. And the ones who are early, you punish them by telling them to wait on the ones who are late. That's disrespectful. So we don't do that. So you learn to manage the time of your meeting, and you learn to set an agenda. I get very concerned if I'm going to a meeting and there's no agenda, because I don't know what we're going to talk about. I don't know when we're going to end. So it's skills like these you develop, how to conduct, how to ask questions, how to deal with people who ask too many questions, how to deal with people who are silent.
Right.
So the leadership when it comes to that, because if you conduct your own business and if you are going to be leading other persons, if you are going to be meeting with others out there as well, people you want to sell something to, then you have to learn to, of course, respect their time. Show up on time when you tell them you are going to meet at 11, and don't disrespect their time by going over. So it's all of that we do when it comes to leadership. So one of the areas is conducting a proper meeting.
And that's interesting, because I don't think, at least if I speak personally for myself, like, you don't really think about that, right? Like meeting is a part of what you do in your job or for whatever it is you do, but the little nuances related to conducting a meeting, you don't necessarily think about that. Like the time, that's always an issue, right? Because sometimes you're running from meeting to meeting, and so being on time or starting on time, and we routinely will wait for people.
Yes, I don't do that.
Well, I mean, it's a little iffy, right? Because you have ministers and you have these dignitaries that you're waiting for, and so you have to.
Here's a tip.
I'm like, right?
Here's a tip.
I'm like,
Here's a tip.
You say you have to, but not me.
Here's a tip. Start 15 minutes earlier, given that time that puts them there. So when the appointed time arrives, they're
there.
Don't say 11:15 for 11:15. If your meeting's going to be 11:15, say 11 o'clock.
Okay.
That opens up that window.
But then what happens to those that come at 11? When we talking about respect the people that come on time, they come on 11 and they're waiting when really it started at 11:15.
Okay, so here's a good one, because again, it's out there, and I think it's in error that you need a quorum to start a meeting.
Yes.
That's not true. If you set the time for the meeting, you can start your meeting. What you need is a quorum to vote.
Approve, yes.
To approve anything. So you start your meeting and get rid of what you
really?
don't.
Yes. That was the point I was going to raise too.
Yeah.
Parliamentary procedure is something that we are learning as a process of this, and many entrepreneurs may not be aware of, can find out about it and learn how useful.
So that's in your kind of curriculum as well.
Parliamentary procedure, for also debating.
Yes.
So all of that, we do all of that.
Oh, how fun. That's exciting. I want to talk a little bit more about the pitch, right? Because essentially that is part and parcel of entrepreneurship. At some point in time, you have to tell someone about your business idea, whether they're going to invest, whether you're looking for raising money and all of that. So in terms of, I don't want to join Toastmasters yet, but I do want to practice this pitch. So do you have like pitch decks that you go over with them, or is there role playing? Like, can you take me through what something like that looks like?
But when you come into our club and you're looking for specifics,
Yes.
we then look at exactly at those specifics. We hear what you have to say. Mm-hmm. We give you feedback, constructive feedback, and it's not any type of criticism. We say it in a way that's encouraging, and we have a method. We call it the sandwich method. We give you the things we loved about it, the things we liked, the things we saw you do well. We give you suggestions for improvement, because nobody has to really take what you think. That's your opinion.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
They take these suggestions that they want. Sometimes they take it all. Sometimes they take one or two. That's okay. But whatever it is that they decide they want to take on, and then we give them another bit of encouragement and maybe a challenge in terms of what they can do to continue developing their pitch. They can come back again and say, okay, these are the changes that you suggested. How does it sound now? We give them feedback on that.
Okay.
So that's the way we evaluate whatever it is you bring, that pitch, that poem, that song. We even sing. There are people who sing.
Really?
Recite verses that they've penned themselves. And
Yes.
it's just a very open and phenomenal experience that when you come in and see it, you're like, oh, okay. I mean, that's a response we get many, many times.
That's interesting. I mean, I you hear about it, Toastmasters, but I never really understood the depth and breadth of the services that you offer. So are these for fee? Like you have to pay?
We do have a fee.
Okay.
And I'll let the VP.
I'm like, let me know,
I'll let the
because-
VP membership. But I guarantee you, it'll be worth every penny that you spend.
Okay.
Every cent.
But
So I was gonna ask. So for the one-offs, you pay too, or how
For
did
the one-offs, we invite you in, and you just, because we're being enhanced too. Remember, we're being developed. We're hearing what you have to give, and we're saying, wow, I like that.
Yeah.
You never may have thought of that, and here it comes before you, just like that. Why are you going to judge somebody who's going to bring something to you in that way?
Right.
You
Right.
learn from that. You benefit from that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
yes, so, no, we don't charge for that. People come to us, they're in speech contests, they come to us to prepare them. I remember one lady, she was the valedictorian at the college for a unique program, and she said, I'm a nervous wreck, I can't do this.
She can't do the speech, right?
Yeah,
I got the grades, but I can't do the speech.
I said, no worries, you come to us, and I worked with her day after day, and she developed. because the question you asked a little earlier, what you do as well when we work with these people individually, you're helping to build their self-confidence.
I wanted to talk about that, yeah.
Because the more they practice, the more they become confident. And of course, I would just put this plug in there. If you are ever invited to speak anywhere and you are not prepared, cancel. Find something. Tell them you're dead. Tell them you're sick.
Not dead.
What? No, because you're going to go there and embarrass yourself and embarrass your organization that you represent. If you're not prepared to speak, then I wouldn't recommend you do. But the more you practice, and when you come before us for help, we give you that one-on-one feedback, as she said. We're not criticizing you, just giving you ways that will help you to improve. And there are some people who don't appreciate that. So we have to make it clear to that we develop each other by supporting, giving you encouragement, showing, because we are experienced speakers. We have been there. We have been to the top. We have been through many. We have to do hundreds of speeches to get to the level where we are.
And so tell me about that, because there are levels, and you keep distinguished Toastmaster Nkenge Warren. What are the levels? Like, where do you start? And talk a little bit more about that progression that has to take place before you become distinguished.
You select a path, and we have the various paths we have are leadership development, motivational strategies, persuasive influence, presentation mastery, visionary communication, engaging humor. Those are the paths. You can take a survey once you join up on the website. There is a path, option?
Yes.
There's a path option, and it lists all of them. What do you want out of what we are offering?
What if you want all of it? I want it all.
You can have all of it. You just pace yourself, because they're all there for you. So you're able to select. My first path was presentation mastery, because presenting was mostly of what I did.
Right.
In that presentation mastery, there are 5 levels. Within those levels, there are projects, 2, 3. The higher you go, they get more complex. There may only be 2.
Okay.
The others may be 3, possibly a 4th. It depends on the level. So level 1, they call that your icebreaker. This is the first speech you are making in that club. So that's like my, wow, eye-opener. Once you finish your icebreaker, then you move on to paths such as understanding how you communicate.
Right.
What's your communication style?
Right.
The other will then be in terms of understanding mentorship. We offer mentors as well. You're a new member, you come here, you have a mentor to lead you, guide you, be there, ask you any questions, offer suggestions, help you with speech writing. And then toward the end, it's an overall culmination of what you've done. They check off. It is digital, by the way. They don't use the books as often, but the book option is there for you. But the digital's right there. We are in this environment. People are quick to go on. You click, click, click. Yes, I've done this, I've done that. Each project takes you through a video presentation, so you find out what the competences are.
Right.
Finds out what the introduction will be. Gives you video clippings of it. It's so much in there that it's just phenomenal. But each level will look like this. It explains everything to you from the very beginning to the end, where you have another member evaluate you. Okay. Give you that feedback on how well you've done. If you have some areas to work on, may I suggest that you try this again? But I'm not saying you have to, but it's a suggestion. You go away, come back, yes, I'm better. Feeling about that, and you move on. So that's how you move through all these levels, which in a path, and there are 5.
And how long does that process take? Let's just say you did everything you were supposed to, right? How long does that process take?
You determine
individualized. Yes.
This young man has completed 10 paths. I, on the other hand, I've completed 5.
Okay.
We're in the same club. Around the same time this program kicked in. But he was very excited about it. I had to get used to it, because we had made some shifts from an older program called the Legacy program to this one called the Path-Based program.
Gotcha.
I had to make the shift. He just jumped overboard and did everything. To date, 10 paths he has.
Wow.
Yeah. And even to get to distinguished Toastmaster, some people have taken 2 years, 5 years,
Okay.
19 years, because it's self-paced.
It's self-paced.
Nobody's telling you have to do this by this week, or it's just at your pace. Because sometimes life, work, things are demanding, your family, travels, everything gets in the way, so you just work at your pace.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm definitely seeing how it can support entrepreneurs' journey along becoming their best selves, right? We talked a little bit about self-confidence, which is extremely important, right? The fact that you want to be an entrepreneur means that you are confident, right? Because that's a huge risky endeavor to say that I'm gonna chart my own course. I'm going to be responsible for paying my own salary, as well as the salary of potentially my staff when that point comes. So, but not everybody has that, right? Sometimes it's just, I'm passionate about this thing that I want to do, but I just want to do the thing.
That's what we motivate.
Yes.
Now, mind you, some people come in, they are that practical person.
Yeah.
They're not going to do it. You encourage that. And then you make the parallel to what else needs to support that. Because you can't take that away, otherwise you take away the passion.
Right.
So therefore you meet them there, work with them there, and then show them how you can qualify or quantify what it is that they're doing. Because some people just see it here. They don't relate to it over here. But if you help them see it over here, then they can start seeing, okay.
This can work for me.
This can work for me. I can try to do a little something with that. And the self-confidence is the bedrock. That's the magic power. You know, without that, you have that doubt in your mind.
It's the doubt. How do you extinguish the doubt?
You have that doubt in your mind. But when you have support and
practice
and the positive encouragement, when they finally do this thing and you're there to support, they go like, wow.
I did it.
Yes, you did that.
So you're talking about practice. So I would imagine that like when you're preparing someone for a pitch, that's basically what it is. You're going to just keep delivering the pitch over and over and over again.
Support, and make suggestions. But I think we have had many success stories. Not all very club here. But one of the ones that jumps to mind for me now is a young lady who was just called to the bar.
Okay.
Yes, and she came in a different field, but she wanted to do law, and she believed Toastmasters could help. Fortunately for her, at the time when she came in, we also had a lawyer in the club who is still a member of the club, and she teamed up and she supported her. And now, actually, when she was being called to the bar, in her speech, she actually gave credit to Toastmasters.
Really?
And that's been recent. That's only been maybe a month ago.
Yes, very recent. So we have had many successes. And as I said, it doesn't matter where you are, what you're trying to accomplish, Toastmasters can help.
Help you do
that.
that.
Self-confidence that it gives you, and the support in networking, because we are international, as you heard. So whatever field you're in, you will find other Toastmasters doing the same thing as this young lady doing law.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is unique in that mentors are an integral part of most things, but specifically in entrepreneurship, right? And sometimes in Bermuda, if you're in a specific industry or something like that, there's this whole competition idea that, you know, I don't want to necessarily be mentored, or the mentor doesn't necessarily want to a mentee in the same field. So how do you get around that? But what I'm hearing you say is that within Toastmasters, you have a broad variety of people who are members that might be able to provide support to entrepreneurs who are in there. So you have entrepreneurs that are members of Toastmasters currently?
We have everybody, but in terms of entrepreneurs...
We had one. He hasn't renewed, but we did have one.
Okay.
Yes.
He hasn't renewed because we're up in renewal period.
Okay.
Right, but we have had them in there, and even if they're not active, we can always reach out to them and say, "Hey, yada,
would you be
yada,
interested in becoming?"
So we have that network. Like I said, that we can reach out.
Okay.
But you just mentioned something you said mentoring. You spoke about mentoring. That's a big part of what we do, because as soon as you join the club, you're assigned a mentor. And we don't just push somebody on you. We allow you to look around and to choose who you want. But if you are in a field, or you are aiming for a particular field, then of course we would say we have a doctor here, since that's what they are studying, medicine, then it would be wise to just attach you with that person.
Yeah.
But we are big on mentoring. So you are not just left to sync
your own devices.
Yes, no.
But like, I think this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about some of the typical things that you see from people who come to Toastmasters. The typical things that they need support with. What are some of those that you see most?
Grip onto that lectern and never let go. It is actually holding you up. I can say that has been something that I've had to work on over the years, because it was a comfort. It was something that you could hold on to very tangible.
Right. So
that's one. And then the knee. The knee involuntarily just won't stay still. The nervousness. Your eyes start warding up a little bit, because in your mind you're doing this, but you're like, am I doing okay? All those various negativities just pop in, and that's what we see across the board.
Regardless
looking
of
down.
what.
The other, the first one, you know yourself, but where's your face?
Right.
But over time, we suggest perhaps working with eye contact. Look in your mirror. Look straight ahead.
Right.
Go on, now that we have the Zoom platform, go in there. Play around like you are facing your audience in that space.
So let me ask you this. If someone is considering becoming an entrepreneur, starting their own business, when would you recommend they come?
Yesterday.
He said get there like now. Yesterday. And why do you say that?
Because the earlier you start, the better it is. Of course, that's a cliche. But what we are going to be offering to you in terms of everything, because there are different avenues that you have to look at if you're going to start a business, and some of the technical areas I'm sure you guys will assist with.
Yes.
But as it relates to how to plan your meeting, how to set up your interview, and those things, we would help you with that. How to overcome your fear. Because again, as she said, many people are fearful.
Yes.
We look at the reasons you are fearful, because you're not just there frightened. There's a reason you're frightened. And then we tell you how you can overcome those, except to look at people as they picture them naked. We don't do that. We don't tell you that in Toastmasters, because there are better ways to do it. And it works perfectly.
Yeah.
So the earlier you come, the better it is, because you're going to go out there with confidence. And confidence, I remember I did my appraisal once, and I gave myself perfect mark for everything. And my supervisor said, well, it seems that if you have a lot of confidence in yourself, Mr. Hylton. And I said, yeah, if I don't believe in myself,
who will? Exactly.
And he actually agreed. So we developed that confidence in you that you can go out there and you can sell ice to an Eskimo.
Yes. Yes,
and he has a sense of humor that can make that happen. Ask him about
we've seen it.
Humor.
So listen, we are at the end of the time here, but I would love for you to, if someone's interested in becoming a Toastmaster, becoming a member, please tell us how they can do that.
She's the president of both clubs.
Your vice president membership, over to you.
So we have two clubs here, as you heard, on Island. And unfortunately for us, we have online clubs as well. But I would recommend joining one here in Bermuda.
Yeah.
So we have On the Rock Toastmasters. Distinguished Toastmaster Nkenge is the president of both. But that one meets the second and fourth Wednesday. And then you have, and that's in the evening from 6 to 8. Then you have Bermuda Toastmasters Club.
Yes.
You meet the first and third Tuesday. That's from 5:45 to 7:30. You did ask about the cost before, and we never got a chance to answer. But there's a small fee, incredibly small, because when you compared it with others, I remember I was trying to do just a weekend course in public speaking, and it was $5,000.
Oh, Lord.
I said, sorry, I'm not interested. Not anymore after I heard the price.
Yeah.
But for us, it's just $60 for every 6 months.
Okay, that's not bad at all.
$20 fee.
Okay.
You pay that just once when you join, because they give you the material. Everything comes along with the cost.
Okay.
So $20, and then we have the local fees, because that's for the international body.
Right.
But locally we charge because we normally have to pay for rent and all that. But it's not much. It's usually either the same or less than that. So,
and where can people sign up? Where can they get more information? Do you have a website? Or
there is BermudaTM at gmail.com.
Okay.
And there is NAWS98 naws98@gmail.com.
Okay, those are your emails.
So the NAWS98 is for On the Rock Toastmasters Club, and the Bermuda TM is for the Bermuda Toastmasters Club.
Okay.
They can also contact via telephone number 516-6910 and ask for Nkenge Warren-Swan.
And everybody's on Facebook, so just go on Facebook as well.
You have a page.
You'll find, Bermuda Toastmasters, and that will reach both of us.
Okay.
Because as I'm trying to indicate which she's running from, she's the president of both clubs.
Yes. Well, it's been wonderful talking with you. Look, I'm inspired. I might have to check that out.
Please do.
But I definitely think that a lot of what you said is going to be beneficial to entrepreneurs who just need to figure out how to communicate what it is that they're selling, whether it's a service or a product, as well as perhaps getting investors to be interested in investing in their business. They have to be able to pitch it. So thank you so much. Thank you both for coming on.
And may I just finish with a collaboration to remind you? We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop their communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal professional growth.
Y'all heard it, right?
Yep.
So we minded our business today. And remember, if you don't mind your business, who will?
Yes.
Right?
Thank you.
It's all up to you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for it. Thanks for tuning in to Mind Your Business with me, your host, Jamillah Lodge. Tune in next week, Thursday at 4 p.m. because if you don't mind your business, who will? Mind Your Business is brought to you by BEDC. Bermuda Business starts here.